Categories of awards. We've got the 2015 CoAct Awards for Excellence, we've got the Steve Lawrence Innovation Award, and we've got the Employer of the Year Award. So we will make a start with our 2015 CoAct Awards for Excellence. So that's for our members. So we've got 4 members in the awards tonight. And the awards are supported by our sponsor, Kinetics Super. So Kinetics Super is an industry fund. It began in 1992 when compulsory super was first introduced, and I was on the judging panel for the Super Funds of the Year award earlier this year, and I know Kinetics Super is an excellent fund. It's a high-performing, low-fee fund. So I'd just like to welcome Phil Siebert, who's presenting the award this evening to the stage, and he's going to say a couple of words about Kinetics Super. Ah, there you are. There you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jenny, thank you very much for those kind words. It's on behalf of my colleague Ian Collier here tonight. It's certainly nice to be a part of the conference and the dinner this evening, and certainly the launch of CoAct. I think it's a fantastic day today. So yeah, look, I guess after the words today, I just want to sort of say that Kinetics proud to be a sponsor of CoAct and Job Futures in the past, and has been for quite a few years now. So we do look forward to seeing you all around the stand tomorrow. Come past and see us. Ian doesn't bite. Although he's a Queenslander, but he's a very charming man. So do come past and see us. So once again, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
So our award winners, the first category is Performance and Quality, and it's Community Solutions at the Cannon Vale site. And this is in recognition of a continued 5-star performance over a 12-month period. So, Community Solutions, Cannon Vale. Thanks very much, well done. The second award is also for Performance and Quality, and it's for Workways Ingham site. Again, in recognition of a 5-star performance over a 12-month period. So the next award is for Collaboration, and it's for Community Access Group in recognition of their Building Capacity for Employment program. And the final award in this group is an Innovation Award, and it's for Interwork Australia. This is in recognition of their Young Changemakers program. The program works with senior level high school students to develop their knowledge and skills as future community leaders. So Interwork Australia. So the next category is the Steve Lawrence Innovation Award with a theme of community activation. And I think you all know Steve Lawrence was the founder of Job Futures and a great social innovator. So these awards are supported by our sponsor, Right Hand Remote Solutions. And so can I welcome Sean Fowler to the stage to say a few words.
Look, unlike some other big noters in this room, I probably won't regale you with my Paralympic ability. I was once a sportsman in my time, and I was the reigning champion 2 years in a row at the Kajabi Yabbi races for the Gowenna pool. Thank you. And I'm sure if my mother pushed me in the pool more often, maybe I would have done something with my life instead of standing here. Anyway, look, it's an absolute privilege to again be the sponsor of the Steve Lawrence Award, and I think it's a relationship our organisation will continue with CoAct for years to come. As we know, Steve Lawrence, a number of us in this room certainly knew Steve and worked with Steve, and he was an absolute mentor and inspiration and a guide to many involved in social enterprise and social innovation in Australia, particularly with his work with workbenches and many other organisations. I think in my job I have a great opportunity to spend so much time in remote Australia, and I think it's when you're in the middle of nowhere in remote Australia, you really see innovation come to the fore. And I think, as we'd all agree, our first Australians are the absolute champions of innovation, and we're going to have to cast our minds back to bush mechanics and shows such as that shows innovation at work. And to me, innovation, collaboration and sharing is really what's going to change Australia. I see a lot of disadvantage in remote communities, but I know by coming together and partnering, sharing our common strengths, innovating together and collaborating, we can really make a genuine difference. And it's a pleasure to be in a room with a bunch of people that are making a really incredible difference on a daily basis. And I really acknowledge Job Futures for changing the name to CoAct. It took me a little while to warm to it, but it's an interesting logo. But I think the more we can share, collaborate and innovate particularly, and the more we can have awards such as this where we get to read some amazing stories that people are doing on the ground to innovate and look at how we can share that and replicate that across Australia, including in remote places, I think will make a genuine difference. But look, that's enough about me. Someone probably wants an award, and my beer's getting cold, hot.
So in the Steve Lawrence Innovation Award category, the runner-up this year is the Community Solutions Group East Bank Edible Garden. It's a unique community garden using sustainable organic practices and the principles of permaculture. And I've been there on a sparkling Queensland sunny afternoon, and the garden was full of 5-year-old school kids running around squealing with delight at the sight of corn growing on the cobs, tomatoes and capsicums, and I understand that each day different schools go there, so it's a wonderful community building event. So congratulations to Community Solutions Group East Bank. The winner of this year's Steve Lawrence Innovation Award is ET Australia Secondary College. So ET Australia Secondary College is a community-based high school that offers special assistance to years 9 and 10 students. And it's an alternate option for kids who thrive in small groups. And the teaching focus is all about lifelong learning. It's got a strong ethical focus. It teaches kids behavioural management skills and lifelong good work practices. And last year, 97% of the year's graduates have either got a job or are in continuing education. So that's significant. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm not supposed to make a speech, but give me a chance and I will. Thank you. I wanted to talk about Steve Lawrence briefly. I had the opportunity to work alongside Steve for the first Job Futures tender that was submitted. I can already hear Ron laughing because I'm not sure how many of the rest of the room actually had to tell Steve Lawrence to get back in his office and get far away, because he was an absolute innovator. We were writing a tender and he wasn't involved during the day. He'd come late afternoon, proofread, and then come and try and make innovative changes in the tender model during the tender writing process. He was just incredible. So he had to be told to get back in his box. But getting to know him was a privilege. ET Australia applied 15 years ago to the Foundation for Young Australians to start a social enterprise for young people. And surprisingly, we won $250,000 and had the opportunity to start a youth training restaurant. And I knew that Steve had been involved in starting Newton's youth training restaurant in Newtown in Sydney. So I rang him up and asked him for some advice. I'll never forget what he said. He asked me, "Is it too late to hand the money back?" it was, and we went on and ran a successful restaurant for 7 years, trained nearly 100 young people in Certificate 2 in hospitality and gave them traineeships and an opportunity to finish apprenticeships, etc. But Steve was an entrepreneur who had a great sense of humour, and the advice he gave me I have not forgotten. It is an opportunity to, as we heard today, to make failure or fail quickly, make lots of failures so you get success. I'd like to acknowledge all of the people at ET Australia that have started the secondary school. I'm just the talking head. It's the entrepreneurs and the innovators that I work with that make these things possible. So thank you.
Okay, the next award category is the Employer of the Year Award, and we have the Assistant Minister for Employment Services, Luke Hart here, who is going to hand out this award, and I'll invite the Minister to say a few words to you.
Well, thank you, Jenny, Matt, and to Matt Cowdery, thank you for those inspiring words. And I do boring really well, so I'll keep it short. But some years ago, back in my electorate, I come from Coffs Harbour on the North Coast, I went to a disability advocacy weekend. There were about 400 people with disabilities of varying degrees with their carers, and it was a great event, and it was a time of I think great celebration. It was an annual get-together that happens in Fowler every year or every couple of years. And it was going along really well, and I was sitting next to a young man who had responsibility or cared for 2 women who had very significant disabilities, probably to the point that they would never perhaps achieve employment. And anyway, there was dancing, there was a band, and he was, I think, one of those people in the services area that went above and beyond. And he was out there dancing with these young women and they were in their wheelchairs, and he had them, and he was spinning them around, and they were having a great time and they were laughing. But there was a touch of sadness insofar as when you sort of reflected on the fact that they were having a good time, but that the incredible disabilities that they had to deal with, and that through no fault of their own, they had some really great challenges. But he was a great guy, and he was, I think, making their life a much more fulfilling experience and really helping them along the way. But anyway, he came and he was sitting next to me at the dinner. And as the dinner progressed, he said to me, you know, I never go to work every day wondering whether what I do is important. And I thought, well, there's 11.7 million people out there in the workforce. How many people can say that? And I think in the disability sector and in assisting people into work, it is incredibly important work that you do, and very rewarding work, because I think that providing a job and the benefits that a job brings, financial benefits, yes, but the self-esteem and the social benefits, it is very much life-changing work to assist people on the road to employment. As Assistant Minister for Employment, I have a very significant number of people with a disability under my responsibility. Senator Fifield has the carriage of disability employment services, but I still have a very significant caseload in employment services. But it is a great honour for me to be Assistant Employment Minister, helping people get a job, and in particular helping people who face significant barriers such as disabilities to get a job. So look, congratulations on the great work that you do. It's great to be here this evening and to present the awards to providers who or be at this awards ceremony for providers, but also to present an award to some employers, because we can't get people into work without employers. They are a very important part of the equation. And I won't say any more. I've taken up more than my 2 minutes. But look, congratulations to all the award winners tonight.
I can't resist but to take the opportunity and say to the Minister, one of the great reasons why people in the community sector, beyond the disability sector, in the whole not-for-profit sector, none of us have trouble getting out of bed in the morning to go to work. We know the social value that we contribute to this community, and I think it's one of the great sort of social capital that the not-for-profit sector delivers to the Australian community. So this award is the Employer of the Year award. The Employer of the Year award shines a light on companies that practice what they preach when it comes to corporate social responsibility. These businesses are passionate about working with our community services partners to promote employment opportunities for disadvantaged Australians. The award celebrates employers who go above and beyond to provide supportive working environments and promote retention and development programs as vulnerable job seekers transition into productive employees. So the runners-up this year, the Bayford Automotive Dealer Group. They're an automotive dealer and service centre with locations around Australia. And we thank them for their promotion of automotive career paths in schools and taking on 250 apprentices over the last few years. They were nominated by our member Interwork. The next runner-up is Calvary Retirement, a Canberra-based organisation. For their proactive, inclusive practices in the workplace that deliver employment opportunities for people with disabilities. They were nominated by our member Advanced Personnel. We have two winners this year. Firstly, Valley Suite. They're based in the Latrobe Valley in Victoria, and they were nominated by our member Workways. So 13 years ago, Tony Zakic found himself unemployed, and he sought assistance from Workways, who supported him find his feet again. And after completing a NEIS program, he grew an initial street sweeping contract into his burgeoning business, Valley Sweep. And through the report, he was very grateful for the report. I should actually let you say it.
No, you're doing a good job.
He was very grateful for the support he received from Workways. And when he, in turn, sought staff, he went back to Workways, and over the years he's had 15 long-term job seekers, employed 15 long-term job seekers, some mature-aged people, Indigenous workers, and people and young people. And his motto, I'm told, is, if they're prepared to have a crack, I'll give them an opportunity.
Yes, spot on.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tony.
Thank you very much.
And our second winner is Mercy Health and Aged Care in Rockhampton, nominated by Community Solutions Group. So Mercy is an organisation who have committed to a long-term project to establish itself as an employer champion for people with disabilities. They've invested heavily in this endeavour, and that includes they have a designated budget, they run awareness sessions, and they're assisting on the design of a pilot for learnings which will inform an equal opportunities program. So that brings to a... You've got a photo? Yeah? Oh, you would like to say something?
Sorry to do this, but just to take the opportunity. We're from Central Queensland, from Rockhampton, so we've come from the beef capital to the capital. I left, this morning. We had a temperature of 24 degrees, and it's a little bit cooler here. But to tell you a little bit about our organisation, we are a not-for-profit. We employ about 1,500 people across Central Queensland. And our board decided several years ago to formalise a program that has been in existence for some years, and to allocate a certain percentage of our budget towards employment of disadvantaged and disabled people. We now have in excess of 30 people working in our organisation. We admit that we still don't do that well. We're still learning, but it's through the commitment of our great staff, our board and our executive, and also through partnership with groups like Community Solutions that have made that a very worthwhile project for us. I am quite embarrassed about picking up an award. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's just something we all should do, and it's something that I would certainly encourage amongst other employers, although it's very difficult to get people on board. I acknowledge that. So thank you, and congratulations, and all the very best going forward. And if we at all can offer any advice or assistance to any other organisations interested in doing what we've done, we would be more than happy to do so. So thanks very much. This is unexpected, but very much appreciated.